All right, and welcome back to the continuing adventures of Hall of Justice. And we're back
Welcome
at
back,
Earth
Rick.
97.
Welcome back, Rick.
I'm back. I don't know how I'm back, but I'm back. Anyway, it's good to be back. And with me tonight, my name is Rick Olivares. With me tonight, as usual, is Jiggy Cruz and Nikki de Guzman. Hi, everyone. How's it going?
Better internet tonight, Rick. Last week was bad.
Thank God.
Yeah, and we want to also take a moment to offer silent prayer to all those affected by Typhoon Ulysses. We hope that we know that everything still isn't right, but we offer prayers for your safety and your swift recovery from the devastation of Typhoon Ulysses. Nevertheless, tonight, the continuing adventures of Hall of Justice. In this episode, we're talking about non-continuity stuff. Isn't it right?
Yes, sir. Pero Rick, I really wanted to see your collection, greatest collection, pero that's for another entire episode.
Yeah.
Since you missed last week's
You'll have plenty more
episode.
chances for you to showcase your most prized possessions next time.
You know what? I'll see if I can invite Alex Ross. I'll message him.
Good Lord.
Kung papayag siya. Kung papayag, di ba? Parang sabihin ko, it's my birthday again. Kasi tapos na.
Pinapaasa mo lahat, Rick.
Baka naalala niya yung date.
Then, no, I'll try lang. I'll message him even if he can't, maybe he can just give us like a minute's message or something. Let's see what happens there. All right, as for all those watching the broadcast of Hall of Justice, we want to thank you for watching and staying tuned to this. We got a lot to talk about aside from our non-continuity favorites, where we also will show our hauls of the week. And we urge you to stay because, Jiggy, what do we have for 5 lucky viewers and customers?
I have a couple of choices for this week. No, I chose 3 non-continuity books from the past, recent ones, and something close to my heart. No, the first one, maybe we can start with the most recent one. And since I'm also wearing a Spider-Man T-shirt, I wanted to talk about Spider-Man Life Story, which was written by Chip Zdarsky and illustrated by Mark Bagley. So yun. If you think about Spider-Man, he grew up, he was 15 in the 60s. And then, so parang si Chip Zdarsky, yung idea niya, what if he really grew up with us? So you follow, by the time we reach 2010, matanda na si Peter. And ayun, you follow his whole life and it's set in a different universe. I won't spoil anything, but there were a lot of what the hell moments that happened.
Nice.
And I think it's one of the best Spider-Man written stories in recent year. So that's my recommendation. Spider-Man Life Story, again by Chip Zdarsky and illustrated by Mark Bagley.
Okay, I'm going to take your word for that because I'm going to look out for that one. But hold that thought first, guys. Pinapasabi ni Lanilio, ang pogi ni Jiggy. It's gotta be the beard.
Yeah, yun. There's no shade of everything.
Mas pogi si Lanil.
Nakadagdag.
Si Lanil ang pinaka-pogi na artist sa buong mundo.
No.
Anyway, the DC fans, you might want to hear this from me because my favorite DC book of all time is a Superman story. So since Nikki is also wearing a Superman t-shirt, I chose Superman Secret Identity, written by Kurt Busiek and illustrated by one of my favorites, Stuart Immonen. So this one is also in another set in the real world. So there's this guy. He was named after Superman himself, Clark Kent, and I think he lives in Cleveland, Ohio, since dun yung birthplace ni Superman. So one day he wakes up with Superman's powers, and then little did he know that the FBI was already after him. So how did he get those powers? Why is he like Superman? Galing. It's just 4 issues in prestige format. Superman's Secret Identity stands as my favorite DC book of all time. That's my opinion. Humble opinion now.
Of all time.
Nice, nice. Okay, so to all the viewers out there, as you, what's happening is both for Jiggy, Nikki, and myself will be sharing our three favorite. We're not saying the best. Three of our favorite non-continuity stories, and we'd also like to hear from you guys. What are your favorite non-continuity stories? Erbe, good evening. Andre Paul, good evening. Nico Valenzuela, thank you for the kind words. Jig, your last for now favorite among the non-continuity stories.
Okay, last. This one is close to my heart, and if you read Brian K. Vaughan or si BKV, you all know that his stories really do not end well, like Ex Machina and Why the Last Man. But I am recommending The Escapists. The Escapist channel, created by Michael Chabon, who is popular from The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay. The Escapists was Brian K. Vaughan's love letter to comic books. And that's all I can say. It's such a feel-good story, probably BKV's most feel-good, and maybe also the best feel-good comic book of all time is The Escapists. I know 2020 really sucks for all of us, but yun ang marirecommend ko. The Escapists, published by Dark Horse Comics. And those are my top 3 non-continuity comic books from the past.
Yeah, that's really cool, Jigs. And before we hear from Nikki, for the viewers out there, in case you want to try out any of those stories that Jiggy likes and is recommending as well, you might want to hit up Ivan, Jacob, or Eric at Phil Bars, and maybe they can order that stuff for you. And sometime towards the end of the show, we're giving out a special discount for this really cool pop. Jigs, Nikki, what's that all about so that the viewers know?
G, you
Si
go.
Jiggy.
You take this one. Siya yung mas excited sa aming dalawa eh.
Jiggy, what do we have in store for 5 lucky viewers tonight, diba? Jiggy looks like he's having connectivity problems. Nevertheless, for 5 lucky viewers tonight,
just like
we're giving
before.
out a 20% discount to something you're gonna find out sometime during this show. All right, Nikki, what are your?
All right, just stay tuned.
Yeah, Nikki, how about you? Ano yung 3 favorite
Okay, so
non-continuity stories?
for my, some of you may have noticed I'm kind of wearing a Superboy shirt today
Nice.
because you can't really talk
Is it
multiverses
Superboy?
and alternate realities without talking about Superboy. You know, the guy, Superboy Prime, that is the guy who literally punched his way into reality. Na inayos yung continuity problems ng DC for them. So, as I've said before, I got into comics quite late as compared to my 2 super awesome co-hosts. So, when I started out, I hated continuity. I hated na I had to backread so much kasi you can't just pick up a single issue and then start reading, diba? I think this is what prevents most people from getting into comics, the continuity. So I suppose I started reading Elseworlds first. And so, pumili lang ako ng 3 for this episode. I'm always being bullied here for not liking Marvel too much. So this is
hindi ka
Marvel
binubully.
1602.
Excuse us.
Lagi lang si Nikki, walang... Well, this is 1602 by Neil Gaiman, my favorite author of all time. Well, I'm a history geek, so I read a lot about history. I suppose that's
Tsaka
a
mahilig ka sa
major reason why
fantasy,
I love that.
Nikki, no?
Yeah, isa pa yun, 'di ba? I appreciated how Gaiman wrote it na respect niya yung historical aspects of it. For example, it's called 1602 because 1602 is basically the last year na Queen Elizabeth reigned. And then she was replaced by this dude, si James Stewart, who is notorious for being a royal witch hunter. And since mutants here were called witch breeds, yun. So siya yung main antagonist of the series. Also, natutuwa ako sa names. If you read it kasi, for example, Peter Parker,
Si
he's named
Parquois.
Peter Parquois. Diba?
Speaking of
Tapos
Peter
si Charles,
Parquois, I really felt bad na pinatay siya ni Dan Slott
yeah,
sa
no.
Spider-Verse tie-ins. So,
Oo nga.
sorry, Nikki, to burst your bubble, but Peter
Yeah.
Parquois is dead.
Died. I know naman. Sino pa? Si Charles Xavier. His name, Carlos Javier. Kasi Spanish Inquisition, di ba?
Yeah.
Tapos si Eric was like, Enrique. Ganun. I don't know. Natutuwa ako sa ganun. Little details, but I love them. And, of course, si Neil Gaiman. The next one would be my favorite DC comic book naman of all time. It's Kingdom Come.
Yeah.
I know a lot of
wala-
people who
yeah.
love Kingdom Come at yan ang favorite nila.
Yeah.
Simply
Kasi
awesome.
on the surface, it's already beautiful. I mean, it's drawn by Alex Ross, 'di ba? So ang ganda niya itsura pa lang. But then I like how it's a grim realistic view of a world with superheroes, but it's not as dark, not as gritty, not as gory as say Watchmen. Ganun. Kasi if you look at the trend, parang puro ganun eh. This one isn't that. It doesn't focus on that at least. It's realistic. It's imagine a world na human achievement is belittled, and there are no more Olympic Games. There are no more Nobel Prizes. Tapos you have these superheroes na very ambiguous na morality ruling basically the earth.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
right
So
amount of
that's what I love.
darkness for you, Nikki, ang Kingdom
Yeah.
Come.
Tsaka, gusto ko yung biblical part niya. That's a nice touch sa akin. And lastly,
One of
this
one of our
one,
friends, Rick, si Jason Inocencio, told me like off recording that si Alex Ross was only willing to do Kingdom Come if he was able to put si Shazam, si Captain Marvel of
oh
DC
yeah,
kasi
yeah, ang laki ng
favorite
role
niya
niya
yun.
doon. Mm.
Which was pretty cool, by the way.
Yep.
All right, so for my third one, well, dapat kasi isali to because it's credited as the first na Elseworlds by DC. Gotham by Gaslight. Okay, so it's basically Batman in the late 1800s, hot on the trail of Jack the Ripper. Man, I spent a fair amount of my childhood researching extensively kung sino ba talaga si Jack the Ripper. Until I realized na sinasayang ko lang yung oras ko because there's no way of actually knowing, especially now, di ba? So, kalokohan, di ba? Yun, so I loved it for what it was kasi nga I love Jack the Ripper basically. Which is why this one spoke to me. This is adapted na into an animated movie. I actually cannot say if it was better or worse kasi it was very different. The characters were very different. Mas marami silang dinagdag. But then again, I understand because this is such a short comic. Look at it. Diba? Ang iksi eh. For a full-length movie. So I understand that sila nagdagdag ng characters and everything. However, what I don't understand is them changing the identity of the killers. They did this with Hush then. Maybe in an effort to surprise those of us who have read the book.
Ito,
Pero
parang for the
that
sake
one
of a
I did
twist.
not like. Oo, ganun. Parang ako, na-surprise ako. Not in a good way. Parang, hindi naman siya eh.
Wait, I wanted
Basically, those
to
are my...
point out lang si Andre Paul. He had top 3 Elseworlds, pero umamin siya that he still needs to read Kingdom Come, lol. So Andre,
Are you
homework
serious?
mo next week. You
Dude,
gotta
you
read
have
Kingdom Come,
to. It's a
man.
must have.
You
Yeah.
have to. Yeah.
It's amazing. Alex Ross from page
Mm-mm.
1 to the last page.
Saka maganda,
Yeah.
yun nga, maganda siya tingnan. I literally spend, a few minutes talaga staring muna sa art.
Christmas gift for yourself. Treat
May
yourself.
tales
Yung
about
Absolute
what.
Kingdom Come. 'Di ba, Nikki? Yung Absolute Edition para
Mm.
maganda talaga siyang tingnan.
Oh, that
But
it's kind of hard to
also,
find
if
right
we're
now, isn't
talking,
it?
wait. New Frontier, Gotham by Gaslight, Kingdom Come. DC kasi has so many good Elseworlds eh.
Yeah.
Guys, Red Sun Superman. Have you guys read that? Maganda rin yun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If we're talking about alternate realities, I think we should talk about yung very current na Dark Knight's death metal na run ni Scott Snyder. It is the craziest, most whack na storyline I've ever read about Batman. You see all those crazy
I have a
Batman.
question, Nikki, regarding this death metal ni Scott Snyder and
Mhm.
Greg Capullo. Dito ba nag-debut si the Robin King? Tama ba?
Oh, yeah. Well, I suppose I'm not really spoiling anything if I tell you guys. Kahit yung
Wait,
origin lang ni Robin
baka hindi
King.
pa, like, some people want to read Dark Knight's death metal, pero
This is
regarding
a
Robin
one-shot.
King,
So,
a lot of people
yung
thought that
origin...
it would be this person or not, pero biglang, ay, ito pala si Robin King. Like, okay, I think that's pretty cool. We won't
And
spoil
Robin
anyone
King
here.
isn't really a Robin, okay? He's not really a Robin. Parte nga siya dun sa mga Twisted Batman. I think he's the worst, though. Para sa akin. And even after, reading about Batman Who Laughs, parang mas disturbed ako kay Robin King.
And parang his
Anyway,
prized
so,
possession is the utility belt, right? Yun yung
yeah.
the utility belt kay Robin King.
Basically, he's Bruce Wayne if he was born evil, pure evil. Like without
Mhm.
anything in the world making him evil, he was just born evil. Microwaving cats, killing, ganon siya. And then killing his own parents and stuff. Ganon. That's
Wow.
messed up. Anyway, for those of you who are reading death metal, who's your favorite Dark Knight? Ako, my favorite would be Batmanosaurus Rex. Kasi tawang-tawa ako sa concept. Di ba Batman has this giant T-Rex sa Batcave niya?
Dun sa
Right?
Batcave, yeah.
And then, and then when he died, he somehow transferred his consciousness to the T-Rex. And
That's
naging
crazy.
B-Rex siya. Kaya nga, siya yung favorite ko. Tawang-tawa ako. Ha? Ano to? Anyway.
Yan ang devil dinosaur.
Tapos,
Wait, Nikki.
all I can think
wala siya
about was,
kamay. Hindi niya na kaya.
well, he's a super intelligent T-Rex. So, diba? He's admirable in that sense.
Without the hands.
Yeah. Tapos, all I could think about was Scott Snyder pitching it to DC. Like, I would have loved to be in that room. Paano? There was also a Batmobile. Ganon din. Same story. Yeah,
Ayan,
si
the
Batmobile.
Batmobeast.
Yeah. Puts his consciousness on the Bat Monster truck. Basically, yan nga. I swear,
Crazy.
if you're a Batman fan,
Crazy.
you have to read it. Because it's called death metal for a reason. Sobrang crazy niya.
Exactly.
I think
Yep, and you can
issue number
find
6
that
is
at
coming this
Multiverse.
December.
Uh-huh.
Rick, ikaw, what are your
You know,
top
Before I
3
show my
Elseworlds?
my non-continuity stuff, Nikki, I actually took the Jack the Ripper tour in London 3 years ago. And there's a guidebook. You can actually do it by yourself, no? So you can actually just walk around and see all the spots where the deaths and the murders happened. And it's not chilling because modern day Whitechapel isn't dark as
Yeah.
probably
I would
modern
imagine.
Victorian London. You're probably gonna get a little more worried because the place is different because it's, how do you say this? I don't want to sound racist, but it's a different place. Just yun na lang sasabihin ko. Diba? So,
Has a different feel na. Separate. Mm.
yeah, yeah. So, Nikki mentioned earlier about Gotham by Gaslight as being the credited first
Mm-hmm.
Elseworlds story. But when I remember when it first came out, it did not contain the Elseworlds tag. Later
Yeah.
on, it
Mm.
was in the second print. This is actually the first Elseworlds, if I am not mistaken.
May
Yes.
nakalagay, Rick.
Yes, yung
Mm-mm,
nakalagay.
yung may logo na. Yeah.
This
The
is the golden.
golden age.
Yeah, as a kid, I loved those annual crossovers between the Justice Society of America and the Justice League of America. And some I always loved those silver age, those golden age heroes of DC. I love them, and the fact that it had James Robinson, the writer of Starman, and then it had Paul Smith, who did some really awesome work for Uncanny X-Men. They combined for this great story, this 4-issue series, and I don't want to spoil it in case you've not read it. It's what happens here is something happened during World War II, where Adolf Hitler survived and actually was masquerading as one of the members of the JSA.
Wow.
So, yeah, yun na lang sasabihin
So
ko.
you have a
You gotta
super
watch.
powered Hitler.
So you
Great.
gotta watch it. You gotta read this. This is a really, really great story, and this is, if you love the Golden Age heroes, it's kind of tough to read because you'll see some of them meet untimely deaths and all that because of the subterfuge and all that, the betrayal. But it's still a powerful, powerful story. For anyone who loves these old characters of DC, you got to check out the Golden Age.
Rick,
You
I
might-
haven't read that, but because of your recommendation, I will try it out. I will read
Oh,
it.
you should. I think James Robinson is one of those writers who cares a lot about DC continuity and history.
Yeah.
In fact, when he jumped
Mm.
ship over to Marvel, even the stuff that he was doing for Fantastic Four was just really awesome. I think he's a writer who respects the past a lot.
Mm.
And
Okay. Speaking
he
about continuity,
Hmm.
do you guys know what's up with DC? There are these rumors kasi na they want to throw the continuity out the window,
yeah, I heard about that.
which is
I heard-
why
Pero may future
which is
state,
why
diba?
death metal daw. Yeah. Which
January,
is why death metal
February,
daw is
tama?
setting up for that. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Setting up for
Mm.
future state. So what do you
Right,
guys
right.
think about that?
Well,
I don't know.
I think
Continuity,
it's kind of like,
superhero comics,
Nikki,
kasama yan
it's
eh.
similar to what Marvel did with Secret Wars. Parang for a few months,
Mm.
nagkaroon lang ng Battle World. And then after Battle World, dun sila naglabas
Bumalik
ng...
din.
Bumalik din. So I think it's 2
Yeah.
months, right? Future State's 2 months. And we'll see. Pero if I were a fan, I wouldn't... If I were a Batman fan, I wouldn't worry so much kasi bread and butter ng DC
Yeah.
si Batman eh.
Oo.
Ayun. I would be afraid if I were like a book na not as
Justice League
popular as Batman.
Yeah.
Yun lang.
Well, that's one reason why I
Mm.
actually stopped reading a lot of the DC comics because I cannot. You need more than a scorecard. You need scorecard. You probably need a flow chart to figure out who's who, what's happened, and all that. No, hirap eh.
Pero if you're DC, how do you get new people to read comics? Right?
That's always been a tough question. That's a nice discussion we should have for another episode. Mahababang usapan yan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Oo. Okay, so more stuff that I want to show you. I have 2 more that I want to show you. This one, it's X-Men and the Teen Titans. And when this came out, the Teen Titans were at their peak under Marv Wolfman and George Perez. And I had this signed at the New York Comic Con by Walt Simonson. So it's signed over there. Check it out. Yeah.
Uy.
Yeah, I actually said,
Awesome.
can you put it to Rick? Then he looks at me, he said, you want me to put your name? He said, no, I'm not going to put your name. I'm just going to sign my name. He goes like that. All right. I said, I have no plans on selling it. But anyway, this is such a cool story, arguably they were at their peak at this time. It's Chris Claremont, Walt Simonson, who was doing Thor at the time, and then the inker was Terry Austin, and Terry Austin is just such a great way of making the artwork look really cool. Like John Byrne, if you look at John Byrne stuff, it's not too defined, but even Walt. And look at that artwork. He just works really well with.
Galing. Classic.
This is a great story because it picks up on Dark Phoenix and Dark Side. Dark Phoenix, Dark Side. What a story.
Rick, I want to point out, no, ang ganda lang nung Marvel and DC present. Di ba? So, which kind of, like, medyo nostalgic for me, no? When I started reading comics kasi in the mid-90s, sumikat din yung Marvel versus DC, DC versus Marvel crossover, which spawned
gusto ko tong Teen Titans.
Amalgam line, which was, I thought was one of the best things. Like si Dark Claw, si Spider-Boy, Super Soldier. Ayun, nakakaaliw lang talaga. Sayang puro mga one-shot lang siya.
Which ones were the best ba? Oo, puro one-shot lang and marami ring hindi maganda.
I like Challengers of the Fantastic. In a previous episode, I said I like the Science Heroes. Challengers of the Fantastic is pretty cool. There's a lot.
Si Bullets and Bracelets. Parang si Punisher and Wonder Woman yung nag-team up. And then
pero
Iron
guys,
Lantern.
Alam niyo yung Iron Lantern. You guys know yung Just Imagine by Stan Lee? That time he wrote,
yes.
Diba? That's
I have the collected edition.
I'm not sure kung mako-consider siyang crossover.
I don't think so. Parang lang si Stan Lee. Paano kung ikaw nag-invent ng DC, how would you do it? Ayan. Yun yung
See, Raymond Velasco is asking is the Golden Age still available in physical collected volumes? I have no idea, to be very honest, but you might want to ask Ivan, Eric, or Jacob to see if they can get that copy for you. I know it was collected in trade paperback form. You might want to ask them if they can still get that. I'm not sure if it's out of print, to be honest. No, I have no idea. I do have the collected version though, but I like my singles. Now, the last one, non-continuity story that I want to show is a standalone. It's this one.
Yeah.
Sure. It came out in, I think, 1994. This is so out of left field.
Buscema rin talaga yung nag-pencil no?
Oh, people into context, this was the time when Image was just blowing people away with the stuff that they were putting out. Marvel was scrambling, and DC was, well, I don't know where DC was. And this one comes out to a lot of fanfare because, like, this is such an unlikely pairing as you'll ever get. Diba? So, I love it.
Talaga, Rick.
Oh, alam mo talaga.
Rick, I was wondering though.
Yeah.
I was wondering though. Thank God yung title niya hindi Archie versus Punisher because we would all know how that would end. But do they at any point fight?
No, not at all. Well, check out the back cover.
Puti naman.
Look at the logo of the Punisher.
Ang galing nga ng logo
Oh, di ba?
Ang galing talaga. Whoever thought of it was genius.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, it's
Nikki, paano kung magkaroon ng Riverdale and the Punisher Netflix crossover?
I don't know. I've never tried yung Riverdale. Punisher, yeah.
But you know what? I thought that issue, the Archie meets the Punisher, although it took a while more before Archie would do more of these crossover stories, but it set the trend because eventually you had this one, Archie meets the B-52s. Isn't this so cool? And you have Archie meets the Ramones.
Tapos, Rick, you actually suggested like several Archie comics a few years ago. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Yeah, that was really
good.
I enjoyed the first season, but I started the second season, then I stopped.
Okay.
I'll be very honest with you. It started to assault my Catholic sensibilities. That's all I'll say. So,
fair point.
Understandable.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not
Understandable.
close-minded. I am, but I felt after it's like a little bit too demonic for me and stuff like that. So
Yikes.
I left it
Ayoko
at
ng
I
mga ganun.
Si Archie, ang dami niyang nakaka-crossover. How do they merge though? I mean,
Oh, there you
diba?
have it, the Predator. I have that
Paano
one.
yung paano yung drawing? For example, si Punisher, right? I would
Uh,
assume hindi naman
wait,
same
let
yung
me
nandun.
show you
How?
that one,
Right?
Nikki.
Lalo na when
Let
they're
me
in the same
show it to
page.
you. Hindi
Siguro
nakakatawa kasi.
nasa artist na yun. As an artist, dapat kaya mo
Kanyang
mag-draw, di ba?
diskarte na.
Yep.
You know what? There
Or
were
are
two
they
artists.
drawn by two different people?
Yeah.
Dun sa
Ayun, two
credits
artists.
kanina, there were two
So,
people
ano,
eh.
ihahati. Ganon.
Stan Goldberg
If
and
the scene
John
involves
Buscema.
Punisher, it's si Buscema, si John Buscema. And then if it's Archie, it's Stan Goldberg. So nakakatawa, you can see the contrast in styles. And it's just so amazing. It's like watching the video of Aha's Take on Me. Diba? Something like that. And I love it.
Parang you draw Archie first and then ipapasa mo sa isa.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a really great comic book, and I just absolutely love it, and I wholeheartedly recommend this stuff. It's fun. I mean, it's why we got into comic books in the first place because it's fun, And I honestly felt it revitalized Archie in the '90s, but today it's doing really
Rick,
great.
sorry, I wanted yung mga out of left field. Naalala ko yung DC meets, yung parang Looney Tunes na like,
Yeah.
sumikat yung Elmer Fudd.
Batman and Elmer Fudd.
Yung Lee Weeks illustrated one. Like, other people really wanted that book.
Kahit si Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It was even adapted into an animated movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I hear it was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? To the people watching Hall of Justice tonight, we thank you for watching. It's cool that you're here with us every week. You were also here while I was absent last week because I did not have any electricity. We also want to hear your suggestions for any future episodes. And hindi lang yun,
Suggestion na ako. Alam na ni Nikki yan. It's all about Rick's rants.
Yes.
Yeah, you watch out for Rick's rants and Nikki's news. But so for those watching, just so that you know, we have an episode coming up where we talk about indie comic books, and then we talk about local comic books, and that's going to be really, really fun. Of course, we'll have more guests
and
on the
those
show.
hidden gems, diba?
Oh, yan, isa pa yun, mga sleeper hits that you should really check out. Diba? Really good book that you don't really know of, like Far Sector. You got to check out Far Sector. Yeah. Ayun. So I guess I should go now into my haul. Nikki, do you have any hauls for the week?
No, I think it's up.
It's like more like a. Mm-hmm.
Wala ka last week.
More like a two-haul.
Whole haul is dedicated to you, Rick.
Okay. I'm going to start. This is what I got from Phil Bars this week.
Rorschach.
To be very honest with all of you, Nikki, Jiggy, and everyone watching, I honestly feel that Watchmen should have ended there. No one should have done any more stories. So why the hell am I holding this? When Doomsday Clock came about and how it fixed, merged, and whatever with DC's continuity, I had to get it. What's my verdict on that? And well, it's good, but I still feel they shouldn't have touched the Watchmen. But okay, why did I pick this up? 2 words, Tom King. I think he's one of the best writers in comic books today.
Pero nagka-issue siya, Nikki, di ba, with Jay Lee?
Mm-hmm.
He did?
Cover niya. Huh?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Si Tom King, parang nag-sorry siya kay Jay Lee.
Oh, tama. I heard about that one.
And I do believe it was that Rorschach issue.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Sige. So, I want to also show a pop that I got.
The Gamerverse Captain America.
I'm sorry, I can't talk about Gamerverse because I really don't know anything about Gamerverse. What I do know is I have a collection of Captain America pops.
How many, Rick? How many Captain Americas do you have?
30, something like that. I have also a collection of Daredevil pops and stuff like that, diba? So, yun. Alam mo yung first ever pop ko? Si Pau Gasol. It was given to me as a gift because they knew that
By
I was a
Pau
fan.
Gasol himself? No.
Yeah. No, not by Pao. How I wish. How I wish.
Yeah.
No, it was given
You
to me
wish.
as a Chris Kringle gift. So, alam nila kasi fan ako ni Pao. I have all his jerseys, di ba? So that's pretty cool. Even Spain, the Bulls, Lakers, di ba? Even the Spurs, I have his jersey. So, Pau Gasol fan. So it's cool having this. And I want to
Rick, we
take this.
never did get to ask, sino bang favorite mo na superhero ever? You have 30 na Captain
I
America,
can
right?
answer. I
So,
think I can answer that.
Yep, Daredevil.
Minention na ni Rick.
kapag mali
Daredevil.
ka.
Yeah, Daredevil.
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 Rick named his
Fine.
son after Daredevil.
Yeah. My eldest son is Matthew. His name is
Aww.
Matthew. I named him after Matt Murdock. And
Cute.
Matthew was after Matt Murdock, and Matthew is the first gospel in the Bible. So yun, my first kid, that's it. And he's also a massive fan of Daredevil too. So that's really cool. And the cool thing is I get to bond with my kids because they like comic books, they like music, so they have their own collections as well, and that's pretty rad. Yun.
Rick,
So
hang
I
on.
want to
Since
say
you
hi
showed,
to. Sorry.
you showed the pop, I think we gotta reward our
Wait a minute.
faithful and
I gotta say,
loyal
Jiggy,
viewers. Yeah.
hold that thought, Jiggy. I have to
All
say,
right.
give a shout out to my homies at Phil Bars at UP Town Center. Si Warren and si Angel. Maraming salamat. You guys
Hello,
rock.
Warren and Angel.
Yeah, thanks. Isn't it weird? You have Warren and Angel. Di ba? Warren.
Warren Worthington, the third.
Good job. Excellent service over there. I just love going to their branch at UP Town. Kahit sarado na yung Rodix doon. Di ba?
Uy,
Happy
Teka,
Harper
may
pa rin
magandang
ako.
question si Joff L. Tan sa akin. Who is
Oh.
my favorite Spider-Man artist? John Romita Sr. talaga yung
Yeah.
classic for
Yes.
me. But for the recent ones, I do like Stuart Immonen, Olivier Coipel, and of course, Lenil Yu. Yun.
Of course, dapat nandun si Lenil. And I like Mark
You
Bagley.
should still be watching.
Ayan. So yun
Wait,
yung
Rick,
wall of the week.
Since I held that thought for our loyal viewers, I think Rick has a surprise for you guys.
I do.
Yun.
Yes.
I think
But it's only for the first 5 who will
Oh,
avail.
I am sorry. I thought this is the part where you guys
A
give me a
certain
gift.
20%
My birthday
off.
last week. Can't. It was my birthday last week.
Wait, naghihintay na sila. But to everyone who are still watching, available at shop.philbars.online, you can use the code Multiverse1979 to get 20% off on this Iron Hammer from Infinity Warps. Again, only the first 5 will be able to get this one. So log on na kayo ngayon sa shop.philbars.online. That's the official online store of Philbars.
Yan. So, first 5. So, bilisan ninyo. Yes. Pero sana tapusin nyo rin yung episode ng Hall of Justice.
Oo nga eh.
Nanonood pa pala si
Tapusin niyo muna to.
Nikki. Lenil did not leave us.
Oo. Thanks, Emil. I hope everything's fine. We should have coffee soon. Maganda yan. Favorite Mark Millar story.
Siyempre, Superior tsaka Super Crooks dahil si Lenil yung artist. Neil, sorry pero favorite ko is 1985. Marvel 1985, which, yun, maganda yun. That's my favorite Mark Millar story.
Mm-hmm.
Rick, what about you? Red Sun? Ultimates?
Ultimates.
Old Man Logan?
I think for me it's Ultimates. I thought they broke a lot of ground with Ultimates.
Yeah.
And I think it provided
The blueprint for MCU Avengers, diba?
MCU. Yeah.
Mm.
Groundbreaking
Ako
talaga.
toss between, ayun nga, Red Sun and... No, Red Sun. No, Red Sun. I really love that one.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's
Kaya
like...
maganda rin yung concept
ang
nila.
hilig ng ang hilig ng mga comic books sa parang totalitarian regime versus freedom. Ganun. Di ba? Guys,
Favorite ni Mark Millar si Superman kasi. As it, he owns the, I
Mm.
think, the cape from the first Superman movie ni Christopher Reeve. Yung prop
Mm,
na yun, binili mismo ni
Ooh.
Mark Miller. Ah.
mm.
Tapos parang kung may mangyari daw sa bahay niya, ang una daw niyang kukunin yung cape na yun.
Oy, sorry, alam mo,
Can't blame
this
him.
is this is so sudden. It's not even related to non-continuity. This is supposed to belong in our Star
Mm.
Wars episode, but I had to dig it up. You guys gotta read this, Star Wars Scoundrels.
Kasi
By Timothy.
scoundrel din si Rick. My
You
favorite
gotta read
scoundrel.
it, guys. You gotta read it.
Nakarelate siya.
Oh,
Ganun.
Rick Timothy Zahn, ah?
Timothy Zahn, yeah. Heir to the
Yeah.
Empire. So check it out. Guluhin nyo si Jacob, si Eric, at si Ivan. Pabili kayo nun.
Well, guys, favorite Marvel what if story? I
What
like
if
yung si Wolverine na
Spider-Man
yung,
married the
vampires.
Black Cat? Yun, ako. What if Spider-Man had married the Black Cat? Parang Volume 2, Issue 21, if I'm not mistaken.
Ako ang
Grade
dami.
four.
Wow.
Ako, what if Electra?
Pinasa ko. Like, oh, this is cool.
Ako, what if Electra had
Yung what
lived?
if...
By Frank Miller.
Oh, wait. Frank Miller did a what if story?
What if Electra lived?
Oh, wow. Okay. I will go to
Yeah.
Marvel Unlimited right after this and read it.
Yeah. I do have it upstairs. I have that comic book. It pays to
Yung
be a
upcoming TV
not-
show
not
ba
yet a
is
senior
animated lang?
Yes, it's all animated.
Mm.
And it is officially in the MCU. Tapos, I do know that pinakita nila yung what if si Agent Carter yung naging Captain Britain.
Yeah.
And then, there was another one. Parang may zombie Captain America din. Which, we gotta check the Marvel Zombies. And you need to invest in that. First, what if Lanil Red was... if Wolverine was
Marvel
the king of the
Zombie.
vampires?
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yun yung, that's the one
Yep.
I like.
Someone's
Punisher
asking about
or Doctor
Filipino indie
Strange's
comics. We're gonna
Wild.
tackle that in a future episode, yung Filipino indie comics. We'll tackle that in the future. Probably 2-3 episodes from now.
Ang ilog.
Speaking of Marvel Zombies, how does DC's compare kaya?
They're called the bullet heads.
Yung DCs.
Bullet
DC
heads. You're talking about the fans or the story?
No.
Sorry.
The comic book.
Oh, Deceased by
Yun.
Tom Taylor.
Yeah, DC.
I didn't read it. I'm sorry.
Ako rin.
Well,
Pero may
ako
variant
naman, I
covers na
tried.
din.
Walking Dead any single day.
Ano
every
kasi, Jiggy yung Marvel Zombies, they're really zombies ba? Like brains
Yeah.
and everything.
Kasi Robert
Kasi yung sa
Kirkman
DC,
who wrote it and hype ng Walking Dead, gumawa siya ng Walking Dead Marvel style.
so talagang
Ang bad guy
zombies.
din si Colonel America.
Ito kasing DC's is pretty much na-infect sila with anti-life equation.
Okay.
So, they just hate all life forms. Yun lang. Yeah,
Okay.
alam mo, Injustice Gods Among Us is a very good storyline. Hanggang year 5 yan, I think. I have until year 4 na siya na-complete. Pero ang ganda niyan, it's underrated. Kasi hindi siya, I wouldn't say nasa level na siya nung mga legends that we are talking
Nikki,
about.
sorry.
But
This is such a
really
coincidence. Ngayon lang, there's another Rick in this universe who said, what if Electra had lived ang best?
Yeah,
Sobrang
hi
cool.
Rick Parma. Office mate ko yan. Office mate ko si Rick Parma sa
I know,
Abela.
Rick Parma's a friend. O nga pala kung Rick Parma is looking for the Adidas Spider-Man Superstars, kung may size 9.5 kayong extra, message nyo si Rick Parma. Naghahanap.
shameless plug.
Oo. All right. So, well, we're at the end of another episode of Hall of Justice. We hope that you enjoyed it as we talked about our non-continuity stuff. We'd appreciate it if you offer also suggestions. Go on to the Facebook page of Philbars, suggest what stuff you'd like for us to talk about. If you have any guests that you'd like to hear about for us to interview, and yes, we do have guests. You might want to share your favorite pops.
Sila
what we
Neil
can
daw.
Oh, Neil talaga, oh. But so that you know,
Yeah.
we're gonna have our indie episode. These are indie comic books. We're gonna have our Filipino comic books episode, and hindi ko pa nababanggit sa aming brainstorming, but hopefully a manga and anime episode.
Also, guys, before you leave, please subscribe to the official Philbars YouTube channel.
Sa YouTube.
So, yun.
Yeah.
Don't forget the apostrophe sa Philbars. So, yun.
So abangan nyo hindi yung mga announcements and promos and stuff that you will see from time to time on the YouTube page. So, guys, want to say goodbye to our viewers?
Oh, yeah, na.
Oh,
Anytime
anytime now. Ayan na. We're holding you to that, buddy.
And confirmed.
Oo. Di ba? All right, we're at the end of our latest episode of Hall of Justice. Jiggy.
Glad to have you back, Rick.
Well, I missed you guys. I hope that everyone is safe from and recovering from
Thank you,
typhoon.
Ray.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ray.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Everyone watching, thank you so much. We appreciate you, and we urge you to stay safe because according to Pag-asa, there's another storm coming in before the month of
Yeah.
November ends. In the meantime,
There's 5 nga daw before the year ends. So,
dalaw kayo sa Philbars kasi marami. Dibs on that massive LeBron James pop. I'm gonna pick it up next week, or So, guys, you want to say goodbye to our viewers out there?
Jiggy,
See you
you might
next
want
week,
to promote yung quiz mo. Right?
We got a couple more quizzes, pero sa December kasi, Nikki, the last quiz of the year, it'll be for charity. So it's Christmas themed. All Christmas questions. Sa mga pwedeng Christmas comic books, I don't know. Yun. So,
Oh yeah,
stay
pwede.
tuned.
Nikki?
Stay geeky and stay safe, dudes. Yun lang.
All right.
And always buy your stuff from Philbars. Yun.
Yan. Ako naman, I have a podcast this Saturday, Cold Brew, where I'm interviewing former Phoenix PBA coach Louis Alas. And on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I'm at the Boot Room on Sky Cable Channel 265, Signal Channel 271, and Tap Go, where I talk about the Premier League with some former ASCALs and UFL players at 8 p.m. po, Saturdays and Sundays. We have 2 episodes. So for my colleagues, Nikki de Guzman and Jiggy Cruz, as well as all the wonderful folks at Philbars, Jacob, Eric, Ivan, Micah is missing in action, to our sila Miss Yoli dyan sa Green Hills, nanunood din, maraming salamat. Hey, to all the fans, thanks, and we'll see you back in regular continuity. Bye everyone, good night and stay safe.
Bye, guys.